So you're sticking around for executive session.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight for our Village of Alsip board meeting. Today's Monday, September 15th, 2025, and we'll call this meeting order at 7:31 p.m. Can you call the roll, please?
Trustee Dalzell.
Here.
Trustee McGawhorn. Here. Trustee Murphy is absent. Trustee Peretta.
Here.
Trustee Cahill. Here. Trustee Love.
Here.
Mayor Ryan.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, before we'll start with our officers' reports. First, I didn't have this on the evening's agenda, but I would like to share with everybody. A few weeks ago, the Village of Alsip donated a fire truck that we retired. It was a 2001 Seagrave pumper fire truck that we just recently replaced. We accepted delivery of a new fire truck. And this, the old fire truck we donated to Garden Homes Garden Homes Fire Protection District over at 119th near Hamlin. And they sent me a letter last week I just want to share with the board. Dear Mayor John Ryan and Board of Trustees, Chief Thomas Stasinski and the Village of Alsip, to say thank you would be an understatement. Your gracious donation of your fire truck will help the Garden Homes Fire Protection District immensely in serving our citizens for years to come. Your donation will replace our oldest apparatus that is from 1981. While this fire engine has served us well, it was in need of some costly repairs that we, as a small fire district, simply could not afford. We promise to take great care of your fire engine and use it to protect our citizens and the citizens of the Village of Alsip when needed. Neighbors helping neighbors, something you don't hear much of these days, but knowing that the relationship between the Village of Alsip and the Garden Homes Fire Protection District is so strong, benefits all citizens involved. If there's anything, if there is ever, I think I meant to say ever anything the Village of Alsip needs, please do not hesitate to reach out. Sincerely, Scott Blum, the Fire Chief for Garden Homes Fire Protection District. So we thank him for that. Nice thank you to us. I'll leave that with the clerk.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, we've been talking, and for the benefit of the public, you haven't been at previous meetings, but we've been talking about possibly considering having the Village of Alsip go on private property. It's something we've never done in the history of the village, to bait for rats. A lot of communities are struggling with rat infestations, and I've got our building commissioner. He's not here this evening, but he met with an organization last Thursday, but there's only one contractor. He's getting me at least 3 prices on what it would cost to bait on private property, and after that we can talk about more concerns with hold harmless agreements and so forth in case anything goes wrong, and while baiting for something like this on private property. Almost the majority of communities in Illinois do not do that. There's only 1 or 2 that do, and we've talked about this a few times, but we have not made any decisions at this time. It's just something for consideration by this board, that's all. So maybe I'll have something by next week, I'm sorry, we meet again on the 29th. I'll have something then we'll talk about that. And then first on your agenda this evening was an approval of an ordinance amending Chapter 6, Buildings and Building Regulations, Article 18, Vacant Buildings of the Municipal Code of the Village of Alsip. What that means is we have an organization that's called HERA, that's H-E-R-A, Property Registry, and we've had presentations by this organization. They represent quite a few Illinois municipalities. And what they do is they monitor vacant and foreclosed properties in the village at a cost of $325 every 6 months. And what they do is they make sure that we have accurate information on who owns that property, because many times you can have a foreclosed property that might be sold to 3 different banks in a year. And if we're experiencing issues with maintenance, or anything else that happens on those properties, we need to know who to speak with. And it's such a difficult task. It's of no cost to the village. The contractor will get $125 of the $325. We can use the remaining $200 every 6 months to maintain said property. So if it means cutting the grass or whatever we have to do, we have a stipend to provide for that then, too. And that's all I had for my report this evening. Next, we have the clerk's report. Clerk Harding.
Thank you, Mayor. The presentation and approval of the September 8th, 2025 committee and board meeting minutes, presentation and approval of the August 2025 FOIA report. There were 57 FOIAs. Presentation and approval of the July 2025 motor fuel tax allotment in the amount of $73,125.39. Presentation and approval of the August 2025 motor fuel tax allotment in the amount of $80,129.81. And approval to host early voting for the March 17th, 2026 gubernatorial primary election. Early voting to take place here March 2nd through March 16th. And that was all I had, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Next, we had our attorney's report. We have Mike Kankar with us. Mike?
No reports, sir.
All right. Thank you. Engineers report, Jeff Agan.
Yep. Thank you, Mayor. So we received an update from the contractor on their schedule. So there's 4 remaining streets to be milled. It's 118th Street, Linecrest, Kildare, and Old Cicero. And they are going to be milling those streets tomorrow. They should get that all done tomorrow, so then all the streets will have been milled, and they're going to start putting asphalt down on Wednesday on all the various streets within the program, and they should be wrapped up, weather permitting, towards the end of next week.
Okay, so again, these are the streets that we're going to be resurfacing with asphalt. Obviously, all the curbs and gutters have been addressed and stuff.
Correct. Yep.
Jeff, any idea when can, I'm sorry, did the sidewalk replacement program start yet, Mike? No? First week of October. And we're going to replace about 450 squares like we always do of sidewalk. And then when can we start talking about or discussing the $3 million grant that we got for sidewalks to introduce to neighborhoods that have never had any?
We're working on proposals and trying to get some things coordinated with IDOT right now as far as kind of what their expectations are on the format for plan preparation and how the funding is going to be executed and whatnot. So hopefully within the next couple weeks we can have some more answers on that.
That's fine. If you guys would, please, just can you bring me in that conversation? I'd like to know what blocks we're looking at and stuff, because I know you know your job better than anybody. I just want to stay informed with this yet, too. Okay.
Yep. And then we heard from the crack seal contractor. So we're going to be crack sealing the streets from like north of 131st, east of Cicero, and kind of south and west of 294. And they're hoping mid next week to get in to crack seal those streets, and that should be a relatively quick process.
Okay. So again, if anybody didn't know what crack sealing is, we're adding the soft, what do you call it, like asphalt mixture?
Correct. Yep. They kind of grout out the cracks and they fill them with that.
So we're grouting out the cracks in the street so we get more life out of the street.
Correct.
Very good. All right, thank you. Did anyone in the audience wish to address the board on a public forum? Ma'am, go ahead.
Illinois Falls Prevention Coalition. I just heard what you said about fixing sidewalks. That's what I'm here about.
Okay.
I brought a couple things for you. I brought some samples of some of the streets that really need to be repaired, some of the sidewalks that I feel when I walk around, I feel they're really bad.
Okay.
They need to be addressed somehow. I don't know how. The coalition does have funding. We receive a grant. And so if there's any issues, we can apply to their grant to get some funds also
Okay.
to repair some of these issues.
I appreciate you sharing that, yeah.
So if you don't want to see the pictures, that's fine. If you don't. One picture that I do think you can help with, on 122nd Street, there's these big giant, I don't know what you call these things. Maybe you can help me with that. What do you call them? Right, I think it's the water department, yes. Well, there's some that are sticking way up in the air.
Oh, that's they call it buffalo boxes. That's where you can turn the water on and off for a supply to the house.
Well, it's pretty high. And my suggestion is if you could even put a cone over it, a weighted cone or something, because I saw a man the other day getting off the bus, and he was blind, and he had his little walking stick. But I saw him, and I thought, if he walks down there, could he possibly fall on that? Because he may not even notice it's there, because it's very high off the ground.
Maybe. Where's that at?
122nd Street. I actually have an address for you. It's 4830 122nd.
Okay, by the condos over there?
Right.
Okay.
Correct. And it's,
Okay.
you know, it's pretty high off the ground, and I just thought if you just put something to cover it, and I'm just worried about people's safety. Like I said, I have some other pictures I could give you.
Yeah.
Give me the addresses and so on. Oh, and there's another one that I think is very interesting, and I don't know why it is like this. Here. This is not somebody's driveway. It's a big piece of cement, and it has the drain. But it is about, it's pretty high off the ground, of the regular sidewalk. And so, and it's on the driveway, you're gonna walk over it, or you're gonna walk into it. And I'm into this because I fell years ago and hurt my knee. I used to walk 5 miles, I can barely do 2. It's changed my life, and I know that these falls can change people's lives.
Sure.
And they're just so important to me if we could just look at some of these. And again, I know I'm not delusional.
Oh, no, we appreciate you sharing. Yeah, that's fine, yeah. No, you came to a good meeting, because Public Works and Water are both here, so they can share the information here then, too,
So,
yeah.
you know, I know you can't do everything, and I get it, but if there's a couple of them that I think really need to do, so.
Yeah, that's fine. No, and we appreciate, so obviously, like anything else in this world, we look out for the best interests of everybody, especially safety, but you see something maybe we didn't see, that's fine. That's what we're here for, and so I appreciate it.
That's what I'm going to be here for now.
All right, no worries. Do me a favor, can you just sign the clipboard, ma'am, so we know who spoke with us this evening? And in case we ever have any questions, we can get back with you then, too.
You do.
All right, thanks much. Anybody else? Nobody? All right. We'll go on to our standing committee reports. Let's start with Finance and IT. Trustee McLaughlin?
Thank you, Mayor. First, I have a request for approval of a list of payroll dated September 5th of 2025, totaling $495,649.40. Next, I have a request for approval of a list of accounts payable dated September 15th of 2025. From the recap, General Fund, $477,185.72. Road and Bridge, $36,652.71. Storm Sewer, $6,768.50. MFT, $256.75. Pulaski Tip, $793.75. Water and Sewer, $917,722.08. Sanitary Sewers, $2,294.37. Heritage Complexes, $125,466.76, for a grand total all funds of $1,567,140.64. And that's all I have this evening, Mayor.
Great. Thank you very much. I'm just making a quick note here, what the resident was describing. All right. Next, thank you. Next, we have the Fire Committee report. Trustee Cahill?
Thank you, Mayor. First, I have the presentation and approval of August 2025 Fire Prevention Bureau report. And next, the presentation and approval of the August 2025 monthly activity report based on our National Fire Incident Reporting System. And that is all I had, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Next, we have the Police and Traffic Safety report. Trustee Dalzell?
Nothing for this evening, Mayor. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I do want to congratulate Chief. You told me at a staff meeting recently, but somebody else, I think Finance shared with me today, you got a grant from the Attorney General's office?
Correct. We got an $87,000 grant from the Illinois Attorney General's office in reference to be used for retail crime. This is the third or fourth year we received the grant. So this year's grant will be used to cover part of FUSIS and then to install some additional LPR and pod cameras.
Congratulations, Chief. Nice job on that, yeah, too. Helps us really, community safe and certainly offset costs and stuff. I just heard about that this afternoon, so I want to acknowledge that. Thank you. Next, we have the Public Work and Boat Launch report. Trustee Cahill?
No report this evening, Mayor.
Okay. Thank you. Next, Sewer and Water report. Trustee Love.
Thank you, Mayor. I have the request for approval to assign engineering design, $53,000. topographic survey, $25,000, easement documents, $2,000 per parcel if needed, and construction engineering services, hourly basis with rate chart included in packet. Work to Robinson Engineering for the Tripp Avenue water main replacement project, which will consist of new water 8-inch main along the roadway from 116th Street through 119th Street. And that's all I have.
You know how many parcels this may contain?
I was just going to ask Jeff the same question. Jeff, and do you know how many? I'm not sure either, because when I read the agreement, it wasn't specific to say how many additional parcels for the $2,000 would be needed. Any idea?
Chances are it's none. It's just something, just in case we come across something where we need to get an easement for some reason to connect to the water main or whatnot. Just that includes doing title work and preparing the plans of the easement. That may be necessary, those legal documents. So,
Okay, so
chances are there's zero, but it's just kind of in there just in case we need to do some extra survey work.
So this was my language drawing from what you had proposed. Is there any additional costs? It's $53,000 in engineering, another $25,000 for the topographical survey. Is there more costs associated with this too, or just those two things?
For the design, that's it. So then there's the construction engineering that's typically on an hourly basis because that's a function of...
Right, you sent me the chart on that.
Correct. Yeah, that's just a function of contractor, how long it takes them, how, what their productivity is. And so that's just on an hourly basis, which is typically how we handle.
So what's your best guess on overall cost for this project?
Overall cost?
I know typically we always say 10%. I know it was a $1.2 million appropriation. Are we at like 125 on this?
Yeah, maybe a little bit more depending upon, a lot of it, as far as construction engineering goes, is just how fast the project gets constructed. If a contractor, it might take them a month to build the project, then construction engineering is going to be relatively low, but if it might take them 2 or 3 months and we have to be out there longer, then it might be a little bit more.
Okay. So.
But yeah, that's probably a pretty good target.
So again, so everybody understands, we appropriated $1.25 million for this water main replacement, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Right. And then, Andy, I'm sorry. And then typical engineering is roughly 10% of whatever we allocated, right? So.
Yeah, we have 125 allocated just for the design phase. We have another 100,000 for the construction phase. So when they get to the construction session, that comes out a whole separate line item on the budget.
Okay.
Yeah, so we should be well under that.
Very good. Okay. Thank you. Trustee Love, anything else?
That's all for
Okay.
Sidney.
Thank you. Next, we'll go to the Building and Health Report. Trustee Parada.
Thank you, Mayor. No agenda this evening.
Okay. Thank you. Human Resource and Insurance Committee. Trustee Murphy's off.
I'll take that, Mayor. First, approval of an updated job description from the position of Village Deputy Clerk. And second, a request for approval of an ordinance amending Chapter 2, Administration, Article 8, Village Clerk by adding Section 2-140, Deputy Clerk, to the Municipal Code of the Village of Alsip. And that's all I have, Mayor.
So just 2 points here. First, the job description of the village deputy clerk, basically, for the benefit of the public, was an overview of what a deputy clerk is, but currently our deputy clerk was known as our office supervisor. So as part of this job description, and I talked to her about this afternoon, although she should be known as a deputy clerk, her responsibilities will still be to supervise the clerk's office, the building and water personnel in the office, as well as that's it, just the clerk's office and the building and water personnel on both sides of the house. So
And
job basically the same, but
Mayor, to that point, though, the job description doesn't reflect that, and I think we need to send it back and get all of that incorporated. Because, originally, the request was office supervisor / deputy clerk, and the 100% of the job description is nothing but deputy clerk. excuse me, and talks specifically about duties within the clerk's office and doesn't reference any of the supervisory or expected activities outside of the actual clerk's office. So I think we need to go back to the drawing board and revise it to incorporate both roles the way it was supposed to.
So right now, I'm looking at this in our packet. It says the purpose is direct, manage, and supervise and coordinate the activities and operations of the village clerk's office, including codification and maintenance of the official village records. All that, as you said, would be under the crux of a deputy clerk. Supervision exercise. The deputy clerk will be responsible for the office supervision of everyone in the clerk's office, building department office, and water department office. Which part did you miss?
But that is the only reference to building and water in the entire document.
I think this was her job description when she was hired.
It was.
To that position.
Yeah, we just
Not for the
added
office
that language to
supervisor.
it. As far as
Pretty sure it was, because she printed off her job description when she was hired, and it was identical to the deputy clerk job description.
yeah, I just added that. I asked them to add that language just to encompass what the deputy. I'm sorry, to make sure that the deputy clerk provision was up on top of this yet too. But that, as you said, to me it looks like both factors in.
But it's, I'm going to say, I mean, when you really read through all the line items, it's clerk's office, clerk's office, clerk's office, clerk's office. And I think, and again, we can go ahead, there's nothing to stop us from approving number 2 while we continue to work on number 1, because it's not reflective.
Then I would recommend that you, if you're seeing something that you think should be edited, why don't you edit what you think you're looking at and send it back to HRs for him to evaluate them too. Because Human Resource drafted this, not me. So let us know what you're looking at if it's something you want to identify with.
Will that hold up the approval of the ordinance tonight then, or no?
No.
No.
She's just saying
Letter J.
item K would be okay for tonight,
Okay.
but hold
Right.
item J.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'd like to pull letter J.
Would that be your request, Trustee McLaughlin?
Yes.
You want to table item
Letter J.
letter J for discussion at our 29th committee meeting, okay?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right, thank you. Next, we had the special committee reports. We'll start with economic development. Trustee Love.
Thank you, Mayor. The Village of Alsip would like to welcome the following new businesses and/or new owners of existing businesses. That'd be Allura, Catherine Gas, Maria's, The Pole Palace, Deuces, and Truck House LLC. We wish you success on your new endeavor. That's all I have for this evening.
All right, thank you. Village properties, Trustee McLaurin.
No report this evening, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Ordinance legislation, Trustee Peretta.
No report, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Planning and zoning and licenses committee.
Oh, sorry, that would be me. Presentation and approval of a list of licenses dated September 8th through September 12th. And that's all I have.
All right, thank you. Anybody have any presentations, petitions, or communications they wanted to share?
I just want to bring up the Alsip Falcons football and cheerleading program is holding their annual fundraiser spaghetti dinner this Friday, September 15th, at the Alsip Park District
19th.
from 6 to, what?
19.
19th, today's the 15th, sorry, Friday, September 19th, 6 to 8 p.m. at the Alsip Park District, $5 per person, and there will be donated food from Papa Joe's and Pops and Palermo's. So if anybody is willing and able, if they can come on by.
Nice. Also, I want to remind everybody, end of this month, the Village of Alsip, in conjunction with the Alsip Schools, Alsip Library, Alsip Park District, are hosting a Fall Fest at the near the Aquatic Center over at 119th Place in Costner. It's going to run from 11 until 4 p.m. in the afternoon. And I think this year, like I said, the band is going to be the Blues Brothers that are playing out there, and they've got a lot of events. Look for posters and so forth to be put on our social media and website. We'll advertise that more so.
What's the date for that again, Mayor?
The 27th September. Did anyone want to remove anything from the consent agenda? We pulled letter J already. Nothing? Then can I get a motion to establish the consent agenda?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Roll call number 1 to establish consent agenda. Trustee Dalzell?
Yes.
Trustee McGawhorn?
Yes.
Trustee Murphy is absent. Trustee Peretta?
Yes.
Trustee Cahill?
Yes.
Trustee Love?
Yes.
Motion carries to establish consent agenda.
Thank you. Can I get a motion then to approve the consent agenda as presented?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Item A, approval of an ordinance amending Chapter 6, Buildings and Building Regulations, Article 18, Vacant Buildings of the Municipal Code of the Village of Alsip, will now be known as Ordinance 2025-09-2. Item K, approval of an ordinance amending Chapter 2, Administration, Article 8, Village Clerk by adding Section 2-140, Deputy Clerk to the Municipal Code of the Village of Alsip, will now be known as Ordinance 2025-09-3. Roll call number 2 to approve consent agenda. Trustee Dalzell?
Yes.
Trustee McGawhorn?
Yes.
Trustee Murphy is absent. Trustee Peretta?
Yes.
Trustee Cahill?
Yes.
Trustee Love?
Yes.
Motion carries to approve consent agenda.
Thank you. Did anybody have any unfinished business they wanted to discuss? Any new business? I need to ask that we adjourn to a closed session. First, to discuss the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body or legal counsel for the public body, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee of the public body or against legal counsel for the public body, to determine its validity pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2, Chapter 1. We also need to discuss the collective negotiating matters between the public body and its employees or their representatives, or deliberations concerning salary schedules for one or more classes of employees pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2, Chapter 2. Can I get a motion second to do both?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Roll call number 3 to adjourn to closed session. Trustee Dalzell?
Yes.
Trustee McGawhorn?
Yes.
Trustee Murphy is absent. Trustee Peretta?
Yes.
Trustee Cahill?
Yes.
Trustee Love?
Yes.
Motion carries to adjourn to closed session.
Thank you. We're going to go into a closed session to discuss, an executive session to discuss matters, which is only for the purview of the board. The time now is 7:59 p.m., so it'll close this. We're not going to vote on anything else yet this evening. Students in the audience, if you need a signature on your agendas to show school you're here, please, anybody here can sign, come on up, and we'll take care of that for you right away. And thanks for joining us this evening, too.